Okay, cardinal signs. This is for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. This is your past, present, and future energies as we enter April 2026. I don't really got I don't know how April's vibe is gonna be. March dragged me. I don't know if it dragged you, but it dragged me a little bit. I was too busy warning y'all and telling y'all how y'all will get dragged that I got dragged myself. So, but you live and you learn. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, past, present, and future energies. Let's get into it. Going into April, going into April. Again, if you want to see if I'm recording this March 30th. We're at the end of March already. And by the time you guys watch this, it's probably not going to be until, that beginning of April. But hold on, I'm tussling with my cards. But however that goes, go back and watch the March one and see if March kind of hit. I see the tower. I see sudden changes and disruptions and stuff like that. We had eclipses going on. We had retrogrades going on. I know. Trust me. We was holding on to every little thing that we could try to grasp, but trying to stabilize ourselves in all the madness. And yeah, that's just how it goes. Okay, this one just wants to come out. So that's past energy. Funny enough, it's literally past energy. Let's get a present. Okay, let's get a future. Okay, whatever. So let's talk about it. Past, present, and future energies, cardinal signs. So, in the past, you were quite literally kind of in a nostalgic place of the past. I don't know, Six of Cups definitely talks about nostalgia, talks about childhood, it talks about just past memories, past experiences, but that were blissful and good memories, safe memories. Places and experiences and people that you feel emotionally safe with and stuff like that. And it's been a long time coming, as you can see, they're children. So it typically talks about childhood memories or past people come from the past. So it's less like they are new and recent, but more that you guys have some type of history together. If this is a person or just a place, an environment, you've been here before. It's kind of given deja vu a little bit, but it seems to be very happy and comfortable, very comfortable, and like I said, safe. In the present, though, and this is Cups, by the way, so this talks about emotions, relationships, and memory and stuff like that. Cups and water. So 4 of Cups is actually look, we got 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 9 of Cups, but 9 of Cups got some extra stuff to it. So let's see. Okay, in the present, 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is actually about emotional stagnancy. It's actually about feeling in a place where you can't get past the situation, and it may be due to this past situation. You can't get past the past, right? Usually when this card is even in reverse, but you guys saw how this card kind of came out. It just was lingering. It just, why I want to say it couldn't take no for an answer, but it's there was nothing bad about it. It kind of is pressing on a little heavy and stuff like that. Past people energy, past circumstances again. And again, it's not like it doesn't seem like you had any bad time with this person, with this place, with this thing, but it's just you may have outgrown it a little bit. You may have outgrown the space for that. And now presently you're in a space where you actually feel maybe in a limbo, but just in a feeling like you're trapped in between two worlds. Like you can completely see the old and be like, no, that's not it. And then you see the new and you're like, damn, that's gonna be like a lot of work that I gotta do to like figure this out. But it's the only other direction I want to go. So you decide to sit in the middle. And that's kind of what it is. You kind of just sit in the middle and focus on things that already previously happened, that's already been grounded in life, that you've already experienced and stuff like that. And you're like, again, I've outgrown it. And so there's opportunities coming forth, but you're kind of ignoring new emotional opportunities, a new way of like approaching something emotionally, because you're still kind of reminiscing on the old way that you emotionally delivered. Okay. In the future, we have 9 of I almost said pentacles, but 9 of cups, because these are all cups. This is all very emotionally based. But 9 of cups, we have 9 of cups is about a personal wish fulfillment, like you fulfilled your emotional needs. It's self-fulfillment, so self-achievement and things like that. And being able to supply your own emotional needs, you're very confident in being able to supply those that emotional depth for yourself. You're very comfortable in your own company and things like that. But I'm looking at the High Priestess here. She's in the reverse. There's something that you're intuitively like blocking here. You're like disconnected from spirit a little bit. Even though you have this Queen of Swords energy, which is very decisive, very like, she's super cutthroat. She does not tolerate any BS or anything like that. She's definitely going to cut it short, cut it clean. And it just feels like you have your guard up. And it's given like protecting your peace, which is fine, which is okay. But you're like, I mean, I'm glad to not see her in the reverse, because that means she's a real like I can't go explicit as I want to right now, but like she could be a real bee for real. But like she's just very snippy. She's quick to cut you off, real quick. But there's something here going against your intuition, which is weird, because the Queen of Swords, she cuts out the emotion of things, but she still has that feminine energy to be able to connect to her intuition, which is like that High Priestess. So she makes intuitive decisions based on her truths, intuitive and logical decisions based on her truths. And I don't know, there's something, you're like blocking a message here. Got your guard all the way up. I feel like even something you like, nope, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. The Hierophant. The Hierophant is a teacher, ultimately. Oh, the Hierophant and the High Priestess are a sacred union. She brings in the intuitive vision and he teaches it. The Hierophant and the High Priestess. Interesting. So yeah, the Hierophant is a teacher of commitment, self-discipline, personal value, self-worth, and things like that. Ultimately, I feel like that's a lesson that may have been learned. Like, that's something that you've probably have had to learn since a child. And now in the future, I mean, you done it. You got it. You turn those 6s into 9s. I don't know why I chuckled at that. But I feel like you took a couple steps back by being in this energy, being in this 4 cups energy and stuff like that. That's only present energy. As we're moving further into April, you got it all figured out. And I love that. but there's a slight ignorance here that I kind of want to get to the bottom of. So I'm going to actually break it down by each thing, but that's already what's coming up for me. I just got like a download, like lately I've been hearing like the phrase intuitively led a lot. Intuitively led by just like following your mission and your purpose in life. And I feel like you're a bit more detached and more logical in your approach in making decisions, instead of listening to your intuition, instead of being intuitively led when it comes down to your personal satisfaction and stuff like that. Like you're just gonna cut things away and be like, okay, but this is what makes me happy, so get out of my face, instead of just like listening to spirit and be like, there may be some lessons that you need to learn in order to feel completely secure in this energy. Instead, you're just like, no, I just know what I want. I know who I am. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you need to take it a little slower or something like that. 6 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 666. Do not be afraid. 666 is an angel number for reflection, introspection, exactly what you need to connect to your intuition. 6 of Swords is about going to more peaceful and calmer like environments and stuff like that. Again, it doesn't seem like this environment, this past environment was bad, but you've outgrown it, and it's shown you exactly what you need to know. And so now you need to move past it and integrate what you have learned from it. 6 of Swords, it's about intellect. It's about the logical, the logistics of things. But figuring that out, you have to kind of detach yourself away from it so you can see a full picture. Because when you're in the storm, and I'm not even saying the storm, but when you're in it, when you're in something, when you're in like the middle, the core of something, you do not see what other people see from the outside. And so that's just that change of perspective here. And then we have 6 of Wands, which is about victory. So none of these cards are bad. It's about just learning your lessons from past situations. And sometimes past situations, you get that deja vu moment because it ends up by resurfacing in different ways, in different people, in different situations, in different environments in your current present reality now. So like you may feel like you've met this person before, or you've been in this space before. I remember I was looking for I was just going apartment hunting. I was just kind of looking at apartments, and I remember going into one particular space. It wasn't a home that I've ever been in, and never even I don't even think it was on the same like side of town that I used to live in. But anyway, I went to go check this place out, and something about it felt very, very familiar. So 6 of Cups is about that familiarity, that like I said, that comfort, that kind of comfort zone or something like that. 6 of Swords is a moving card. So you basically got to move away from a certain situation in order to gain some better clarity from it. 6 of Wands, you will be victorious. But let's see if there's another card here for you. You will be victorious. Okay. You have the Sun in the reverse and the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Something about this past situation, it's like it gives you, again, it's that familiarity again. Like it gives you a certain like warmth to it. And Ten of Wands in the reverse is actually good. Like, it doesn't have the same amount of weight that it used to for you. It doesn't hold the same amount of weight for you. You've noticed how less fulfilled you are with it now. The Sun in the reverse is like looking at the cup half empty instead of half full. You don't have the same optimism and enthusiasm about the connection, about the environment anymore. So you feel like a weight has been finally lifted off of you in regards to the situation. It doesn't hold the same weight, basically. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Wands, which means you've had to possibly like put up some type of boundary around the situation, around how you react and approach the situation, and so it just doesn't hold the same weight to you anymore. And with the Six of Swords, again, you've been able to use the knowledge of how the interaction is and was and stuff and what it means to you, and you have been able to like pretty much be open to the fact that it no longer is fully satisfying to you. Yikes, the Diablo. You even with this Ten of Wands, you figured out what that is, something that held you back. Wheel of Fortune. Now you move forward with grace to better success. Okay, beautiful. Yo, I kind of got chills. I got some chills from that one. So let's look at this Four of Cups. As you're in the present energy, you might even feel just like bored, like emotionally bored, or okay. Four of Cups is about emotional stagnancy. It's about just feeling like all people are the same, like you're just gonna get the same outcomes and stuff like that because you're too busy focusing on the outcomes that have already happened instead of trying a new way of approaching things or being more open to new approaches and stuff like that, things that you're not really used to. It seems like you're a little closed off emotionally. Four of Swords. Four of Cups, Four of Swords. I mean, if I see another four, what came out here? Okay, it seems like something's got you kind of bent out of shape. Something's got you a little like a little stressed presently. Like something's been kind of hanging. Maybe it's you processing this, because Four of Swords is normally about the processing, about meditation, about really introspection. Six of Swords is again that moving away from things that so you can gain better clarity. You don't always gain the clarity in that moment as you're moving because things are still shifting. But Four of Swords is when you can actually securely ground yourself and plant yourself in thought. When it's in the reverse, it's weighing heavy and it's stressing you out, causing mental fatigue, physical fatigue. And again, Four of Cups, Four of Swords, fours are about stability. I always say emotional stability is not really a thing because that's emotional stagnancy. You're not supposed to drink still water or water that's just been left out and stale, you know? Four of Swords is mental stability. Well, in the reverse, you feel me? But ultimately, there's a need to rest the mind, rest the body, clear your mind, clear, like, it's also about like cleaning up your space, making space so that you can have the flow of thoughts. Okay, these cards kind of came out kind of hunky, junky, and funky. So let me look at them. Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and then we got the Justice card. This is actually Libra's card. but it's in the reverse. Y'all know I do not like seeing power cards in the reverse. But we got Pisces, we got Leo, and we got Taurus. And none of them are in the cardinal sign. So I'm looking at you, Libra. Okay? And then Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles, an opportunity. A start of something new, a beginning, a new lifestyle, a new direction in life. Okay, Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is like you needing to make some type of selection. Needing to figure out what do you need, what are you actually intentionally willing to focus on. You have a lot of things coming at you at once. You have a lot of things seeking your attention. You have a lot of things in Cups is seeking your emotional attention. Seven of Cups is usually about just like having many options, okay? And so there's a need to kind of figure out what you're going to invest in. What are you going to focus on? You can't possibly like put your eggs into too many baskets here. It's not it's not giving you stability, and it's putting you in a space of like emotional resistance instead of emotionally opening. And so the Justice card, justice is usually about an agreement, some type of contract. But it's basically about fairness. It's about being just. And on the card, you know, the heart, weighing your heart against a feather. How pure is your intentions? How pure is your focus into starting this new beginning? So emotions are off, your mind is off, and you're trying to balance it all out. Because there's a need to, you see the top of this says change, but there's a need to focus. There's a need to focus. Your focus is scattered. Emotionally, your focus is scattered. So that's why you're closed off, because you don't even really, let's see. It ain't leaving. The Dielvo. Again, but it's in the reverse now. You're Prince of Pentacles underneath. I can see why you may be hesitant and very cautious on like moving forward, but you're doing yourself a disservice. And I feel like it's going to get explained here with this intuitively led like program here. But I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice because you're so scared. Like, I'll be scared too. I'll be scared to be trapped again, or to be brought back to a low frequency space. But I feel like if you like, instead of just like, I'm sorry, I'm getting so caught up in my words. I feel like if you lead more intuitively, use more discernment, you won't have to use so much of your brain power. See, the Queen of Swords, she uses her intuition, yeah, but she uses her intellect to like cut it out. I feel like you're using too much brain power to figure out your problems, and not enough just going with the flow. The Justice card, like I said, is about agreements. It's about spiritual agreements, spiritual contracts. You come onto this earth with your own mission and purpose. Your soul already signed a contract for what is up for. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and it gets hard. There's a lot of balances in that. It's so much that you have to balance in that. And one of those is your logic and your intuition, and knowing when and where and why and all the places of when to use that, And so I just feel like, now that it's showing up in the reverse, it's not this past situation. It's not that low frequency situation. You now see the red flags. You now see, that's not good for me. You can identify that. You have awareness. You're making more conscious decisions. This is subconscious decisions. Toxic patterns and behaviors. Those things can be so subconscious to you, you don't even realize how much it does really hold you back. But now that you're more conscious and more aware of what truly makes you happy, like certain things just does not hold the weight. So it will not hold you back. Okay? Under here is the Prince of Pentacles. Very slow, cautious, steady energy, but it's moving forward in a direction that it wants to build. So it's just because it feels slow moving doesn't mean it's a threat. Doesn't mean it's a threat. So kind of get your head out of this. I feel like a new beginning is starting for you. You have new opportunities coming for you, new financial opportunities, or just opportunities in general. Just like so much potential. So much potential. Especially if it comes to like things that you want to emotionally invest in, you may have a lot of options to be able to do that. And I'm not just talking about people. You can emotionally invest in your art, in your craft, in your career. And all of those need like a certain amount of focus. And you have a lot coming in at once. Don't do yourself a disservice by trying to juggle things that isn't going to help you thrive. Okay? 10 of Cups at the bottom. Yeah. That's one step after 9. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this 9 of Cups with the High Priestess here in the reverse and the Queen of Swords. You're taking a softer logical approach, but it's still kind of direct and straightforward than most people are used to. This card won't leave you alone. But it's all because you're not tolerating any of the BS anymore. I'm telling you. 6 of Pentacles. You're not tolerating anything that isn't reciprocal in the energy that you are giving to it. Tell me how you're like matching energy. You're actually being a little petty queen, actually. And that's kind of why it's not intuitively led, because intuitively led would be more just like, I'm just going to take in what this is here to give me. Queen of Swords is like, I can see you a mile away exactly what you're thinking and what you're trying to do here. So I'm just gonna play with you. I'm trying to see one of my cards. Let's play a game head at. It's giving saw. It really is. You're like, I already know that you're not gonna make me happy, but I'm willing to see what you are gonna do. I'm gonna just say that's not fair and that's not just. Okay, I'm gonna just say that that's not fair and that's not just. So Six of Pentacles is being generous with being okay. It's two ways. It's two ways. It's not accepting unreciprocal efforts. It's Six of Pentacles is normally about generosity, being able to have a generous spirit with or without knowing if a person is able to reciprocate the same energy. It's fulfilling enough for you to just as being a generous, actual intentional generous spirit, not just something that you're trying to, again, get something out of it by being generous. That's just how you are in nature. Okay, there's people out there that are just naturally very generous with their resources, with their energy, and with their time. In the reverse, this is lack thereof the generosity. Or if you are being generous, it's usually strings attached, because you are usually expecting some type of validation or some type of like interest in how you are and how generous you are being. And again, it's not authentic generosity in that note. So I feel like, again, you're just like casting people a fish and tying a rope to it and saying, okay, what you gonna do about that? But you generally do not have any interest. So I'm calling you out. You're not, although your intent is to not go back down into that space, it doesn't help that you're not listening to your intuition on how to guide yourself through it. Instead you're just being very detached from the situation, and thinking it and just basically playing it like a game. Talking about some don't hate the player, hate the game. At this point, I'm gonna have to point at the player a little bit. Okay? This ain't a game. But ultimately, I don't see you playing with anybody's emotions and stuff like that. And I don't see you being very selfish in your own needs and things. So I just would say, instead of having your guard up, lower the sword a little bit, okay? And stop analyzing people, overanalyzing people, okay? It's not a game. Some people are here to play games, some people are not. And that's where your discernment and intuition kicks in to say, this person, they're not really playing. That might be their personality, that might be their qualities and characteristics, but they're not playing. That's just them. And yeah, you still have the ultimate decision if that's what you want to keep around, but don't do the fishing, okay? Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I know you have just gotten yourself out of something very heartbreaking. I know. You're working your way out of it. You're working your way out of the darkness, out of, like, we understand that. We understand that here. But the High Priestess, you still need to listen to your higher self. If you don't want to be stuck, if you don't want to go back to this lower frequency, stop ignoring your higher frequency. Stop ignoring it. Open yourself up. Queen of Cups. Instead of being the Queen of Swords, instead of being so guarded, connect to your emotions a little bit more. We already know that you can sustain yourself. So do it in so much abundance. Stick with that. And so again, commit to that. The Hierophant is here about commitment with his with his lady, the high priestess. Oh, she over here somewhere. Commit so much to yourself, to your needs, to your emotional needs, to your emotional fulfillment. So much that is so overflowing. And you can be more receptive. The Queen of Swords is receptive. Don't get me wrong. Again, she's that feminine energy. She's still receptive, but she's receptive to knowledge. She's receptive to the logical sense of things. Josol, can you get out the kitchen? She's receptive to the logical sense of things. Again, that detachment from emotions. She's receptive of that, yes. She's analyzing how you think versus how you emotionally nurture. You kind of have to come from that area to be able to sense that a little bit better. Because when you cut the emotions out of things, you cut the emotion out of people too. And then you guys are just dry and detached. Okay, so again, High Priestess. High Priestess, you see, she's flowing in the water. Her head is not below the water. She's not drowning in the emotion, okay? She still very much has a lot of space to be more open. So, open, you have an open mind, but you don't have to be so, it ain't nothing, got that off, like, just chill a little bit, just chill. Don't be jumping to conclusions based on, you might have like really good pattern recognition. And that's terrific. But again, don't do yourself a disservice by being so detached that you can't like enjoy something. Like, because you just see the logistics around it. Have a little fun. Have a little fun. Okay. So, interesting. Now I'm going to pull a card for each zodiac. Let's see here. Actually, look at this. Okay, I said we have Leo. Okay, we have Taurus, Leo, Libra, Pisces, Cancer, and Capricorn. So Cancer, Capricorn, Libra. Pull up to the front here. Why are all these cards in the reverse? Why are all these cards in the reverse? I'm a little less harsh on Cancer because the High Priestess is not normally like your power card. But don't act like the moon don't got something to do with that. Okay? Alright. Okay. If you're dealing with an Aries, Unbreakable. I'm going to start reading these kind of in the reverse. I'm going to see how that goes for me. Unbreakable, and then Behind the Mask. So if you're dealing with an Aries, maybe it says inner toughness, enduring hardship, strength through adversity, nothing can break me. Maybe they're going through a bit of a hard time right now, but they're really persevering. They're really resilient through the things. And then it says Behind the Mask is in the reverse, but it says hidden emotions, concealing self, afraid to show reality. No one sees the real me. Maybe because they're going through this adversity. Maybe because they're going through this hard time, the mask is falling. And now they're actually being a little bit more open with how they feel. Payday, financial rewards, money rolling in, celebration of success, check cashed. So because this mask is falling, because they're actually like owning up to like how they truly feel and not trying to like play, not trying to be like performative and stuff like that. Maybe they're gonna gonna run it up a little bit now, because they're unbreakable, they're resilient. They're gonna face themselves through the storm, and nothing can break them. Okay, so they're gonna run it up. Taurus, dealing with the Taurus, it may be a catfish, pretending to be someone else online, fake profiles, deceptive images, not who you think they are, because they clout chaser, doing anything for attention, fame hungry, desperate for followers, or anything for a like. So online, this Taurus catfishing. Gemini, I'm moving too fast that I can speak. If you're dealing with a Gemini, there's a lot of divine intervention. It says divine intervention, divine timing, both. Unexpected guidance, universe stepping in, redirected paths, saved just in time. Divine timing, patience required, trusting the process, perfect timing when it's meant to be. So I feel like Spirit is going to step in. It's going to step in. I don't know if y'all heard that. It says side hustles, multiple incomes, extra earnings, financial securities, always on my grind. So it feels like Spirit is stepping in, intervening a little bit. Things will come to you when it's meant to be. And in regards to a side hustle or just earning extra income and building some type of financial security. If you're dealing with a Cancer, these cards falling. Okay, it fell in the reverse, so I'm gonna keep it there and see what it says. Sugar-coated, sweet but deceptive words, empty compliments, hitting results, too good to be true. But it's in the reverse, so maybe they used to sugarcoat things around you, but now they ain't beating around the bush. They kind of be more direct and forward with you, and you might feel like they're two-faced. Two-faced. It says one thing, does another. Betrayal behind kindness, pretends loyalty, trust carefully. So at one point they may have like really sugarcoated some things. Again, those empty compliments, sweet but deceptive words, hitting insults, but maybe they're like actually like being more direct or something like that. Or again, it says that two-faced energy, says one thing and doing another, because they're not sugarcoating no more. I don't know. If you're dealing with a Leo, came out in the reverse, says recharge, mental rest, emotional recovery, taking a break, come back stronger, but it's in the reverse. So maybe you feel like they're draining you. Swipe right, you may have met them online dating, instant attraction, digital romance, match found. You may have met them online and you realize that they drain you, kind of drain your energy, or that you feel like you need to constantly like take a break or rest around them or something like that. So what's kind of calling out to me is like the phone. Maybe y'all talk on the phone a lot. Maybe you always got to recharge your phone or something like that. Okay. If you're dealing with Virgo, fake flex. They fake flexing, pretending wealth, showing off borrowed luxury, deceptive bragging, rich on Instagram, broke IRL. Okay. But they're in hustle mode. So like they may be grinding and stuff like that. It says grinding hard, ambitious drive, determined effort, sleep can wait. But like they probably didn't reach the level that they actually are portraying that they're at, and so they fake flexing. Okay. If you're dealing with a Libra, side piece, retirement goals. So side piece, secret romance, hidden affairs, being second choice only, late night calls, retirement goals, long-term stability, future planning, relaxation, earn, living the dream. At the bottom of the deck is situationship. So y'all might be in a situationship with a Libra. It says unclear boundaries, mixed signals, more than friends, less than lovers. What are we? And it's probably because they got a little side piece. But something here about retirement goals, like living in luxury, living the dream, long-term stability, future planning. Maybe their side piece is their retirement plan. Or maybe you were thinking about how you can have long-term stability with this person, but it's like a situationship. You don't know how to really maneuver around it. All right. If you're dealing with a Scorpio. Came out in the reverse. Poker face. Hiding true feelings, impossible to read, emotionally detached, you'll never know. So I feel like, again, it's like that saying with the behind the mask. Like the mask is slipping. Like they can no longer like maintain that poker face around you. They might smirk a little bit. They might blush. Plastic smiles is crazy. So they actually like hitting you with a fake smile. Plastic smile. Fake kindness, forced friendliness, hiding resentment behind smiles. So yeah, they can't fake the face no more, but they still gonna try to smile in your face and stuff like that. They still kind of hiding what they truly feel. At the bottom of the deck, luxury life, comfortable wealth, indulgence, enjoying rewards because I deserve it. So they probably being fake for you because you guys have that luxury life, living that luxury life. And so like, impossible to read, emotionally detached, you'll never know. I feel like you know. I feel like you know, and you know that the smiles are fake. But ultimately, y'all be living a comfortable life. Y'all be indulging and stuff like that and things. All right, if you're dealing with the Sagittarius. Oops. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? Oh, too many cards, but this one wants to flip. Love bombed. Maybe you're being love bombed by a Sagittarius. Intense affection too quickly. Excessive attention, overwhelming charm, hidden control. They love bombing you. Self-care Sunday, though. Prioritizing rest, recharge emotionally, pampering yourself, me time matters. Look at her. She's just looking at her phone. And look at the phone. You're like, all right, cool. Honestly, like, yeah, they blowing up your phone and stuff like that. They giving you all the X's and O's and stuff like that. And you're like, well, you in this energy, like, protecting my peace. It's self-care Sunday. Baby, what? You're dealing with a Capricorn. Oh, that's a lot of cards. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, oh man, they kind of play. Okay, safe space, emotional sanctuary, comfortable solitude, protected vulnerability. Here I am safe, but I'm kind of conjoining it with this card, cuffing season. So they're a safe place for you to be in cuffing season with you. But cuffing season also says temporary relationships, seasonal companionship, short-term warmth until spring. But they feel like the same kind of like energy. I feel like they feel like safe for you. You may have met them in the winter. And then these cards I feel like play the same in some type of way. Two-Face. We got two-faced. So says one thing, does another. Betrayal behind kindness, pretends loyalty, trust carefully. And then it says mirror, mirror. Facing yourself and others, reflective relationships, self-awareness, what you see is you. This may be the whole thing, the whole shebang wing. Like there's some type of familiarity and comfort with this person because they may reflect something of you, but you might also be like, they're two-faced, they're blah, 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 blah. But you already know that this stuff was temporary. Or somebody here is just kind of facing their, like, being, again, self-awareness, becoming more aware of, like, how you can see yourself in another person that you're in a relationship with. But yeah, maybe they're acting a little two-faced. At the bottom of the deck, it says false alarm. False alarm, exaggerated panic, unnecessary drama, overreaction to minor events. Much ado about nothing. I feel like you may have gotten like you felt some type of way or something like that about them. And but now you just really, I feel like you might have felt some type of way about them, but now you're just kind of realizing how they're mirroring you in some type of way. So you're like calling false alarm. If you're dealing with the Aquarius, all these, okay, listen. Saturn may be exalted in Libra, but that don't mean you Saturnians can just come over here and just do it as you please. Please. Come on now. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, blind dates, broken promises, crossroads, and wake-up call. So if you're dealing with an Aquarius, you may have just met them. Surprise meeting, unexpected chemistry, awkward introductions. Could be love, could be disaster. They're very new to you. But broken promises, it says disappointed expectations, failed commitments, lost trust, words meant nothing, and it may have you at a crossroads, some type of crossroads of life between. You remember how I said that past life, future life stuff? This is a past, present, future. So having, being in the crossroads, important choices, life-changing decisions, choose wisely, your next step matters, and some type of wake-up call here. Spiritual awakening, sudden clarity, urgent awareness. You can't ignore it anymore. Dang, this was upside down. I didn't even know I turned it upside down. Take note of that. But it says soul contract. Remember I was talking about with that justice card, that spiritual soul agreements and contracts, and it was upside down. Soul contracts, fated connections, karmic relationships, spiritual agreements destined to meet. So maybe you're meant to meet this person. And remember, I was editing somebody's video and they had karmic path in it, and karmics get a bad rep for what they're known for. I mean, they cause a lot of disruption. They are very intense in nature and stuff like that, but they're here to basically teach you a valuable lesson about yourself. Just take that into consideration. Maybe you there's some type of lesson you're meant to take note of with this Aquarius. Last but not least, Pisces. If we're dealing with the Pisces, gaslighted, reality distortion, emotional manipulation, questioning sanity. You're imagining things. They might be gaslighting you. And then it's me versus me. Self-competition, personal growth, becoming better than yesterday, my only competition. So they might be gaslighting you because they're battling their own demons. They may be competing with you, having trying to one up you all the time. At the bottom of the deck, clickbait, misleading headlines, empty promises, exaggerated truths, not what it seems. And they may go online or they may go to other people and try to say that you're the problem when they're the problem. ... So I'm gonna leave that here. I didn't know that I spoke for an hour long. But again, this is for my cardinal signs. This is a past, present, and future energy as we enter April 2026. If you have any further questions or want to dig deeper in this reading, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at Libra Baby Doll.